what's going on. Um, we have this debate for greatest of all time in a team sport is stupid. People in their mind and hearts think Michael Jordan is the greatest player to ever play the game. Older heads have Kareem. Older heads have Wilt. I mean, it depends who you choose and what your cup of tea is. But it was an interesting video that said a guy on YouTube basically saying he would choose to play with LeBron over Kobe if he, basically saying he wanted the ball. This notion that Kobe couldn't pass or wasn't a passer is bogus. Kobe was a scorer first, yes, because he's a two guard. Two guards don't usually have high assists. Michael only averaged 5 some assists a game. Kobe was in the fours. You had some with 3 or 4 or 5. Jerry West dominated the ball a lot, so he would have a high percentage of assist. LeBron James passing is very good and great at times, but when you dominate the ball 90% of the time of the game and you make everybody a spot up shooter, you're going to have high assists. LeBron is not a small forward. LeBron James is a point guard. We need to stop trying to make him a small forward because he's 6'9". He's not a small forward, and he's damn sure not a power forward. LeBron is a point guard. He just so happens because of his size, he can play the small forward position or power forward. Defensively, at one time, LeBron was a very good to great help defender. But on ball defense, he has never shut anybody down or gave anybody problems. See, the media wants to make you believe that he's this all-time great player. He's a great player as far as him coming from high school, dealing with the pressures of being young, having to deal with being the guy and carrying a Cleveland team, which has been trashed since Mark Price and Doherty and those guys left. But this notion that LeBron James is better than Kobe or better than Tim Duncan is asinine. LeBron James will have the stats because the era of basketball has gotten soft. It's gotten real soft. There's no more big men. There's no more hand checking. Kobe came up in an era where there were hand checking. He came up in an era where there was tougher competition. There were teams playing basketball. These teams today just jack up threes. The past 10 years, they just jack up threes. And that's because Steph Curry does it, so everybody else does it. But what they don't understand is that's Steph Curry's range. And Steph Curry plays in a system, a set. He's not freelancing out there. Sometimes he will when it's time to. But the problem I have is all this hatred for Kobe Bryant. And I understand. If you hate Kobe Bryant, that's fine. But if you're going to say LeBron is a great player, make it about LeBron. Don't talk about tearing down another guy saying he doesn't do this or do that when he does do it. Kobe has the most assists in history of two guards. I don't want to hear about, he played longer than Mike. I don't want to hear it. Kobe was a better passer than Mike. I watched Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the biggest gunner in history. For Skip Bayless and these guys to tell you, Kobe's a gunner. Michael Jordan was a gunner. Michael Jordan didn't start winning until he started making a damn pass, until he started making the extra pass. Kobe always passed the ball because he was traded from Charlotte to LA. He didn't ask for Shaq. If Kobe would have started in Charlotte, Kobe would have way better numbers than LeBron and Michael, and probably would have been caught Kareem and passed them. But because the Lakers wanted to win championships, remember that word, championships. They wanted to win championships. So they traded for Kobe. They traded Velati for Kobe. Kobe, I think, was 11th or 12th pick overall in a draft that was loaded with Allen Iverson, Ray Allen, Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Steve Nash was in that draft too. I think KG came a year before. He wasn't in that draft. Kerry Kittles was in that draft. Kittles was nice. But this notion that, oh, well, I would play with LeBron. Larry Bird said it best. If I want to win, I want to play with Kobe. If I want to have fun, I'll play with LeBron. And not only this, LeBron trades people like crazy. So how can you be a top 10 or 20 player and you're always stacking your teams, you're always trading, you're always talking about the rules, they're changing the rules for you. And what I mean by the rules are, they're allowing him to use his forearm going to the lane. They're allowing him to run over people, which is the same thing Shaq used to do. That's why Shaq's not in my top 20. As far as great talent, LeBron James is top 5, maybe the best talented player we've ever seen. Him and Shaq are in that order. But if you want to talk about player and skill, he's not in no top 20. He's not. This guy, who has he shut down on defense? Who has he locked down for a whole game? Who has he said, you know what, I'm going to answer the challenge? Nobody. And all these celebration, you guys didn't even celebrate. They had to stop the game, and the crowd, when Kobe was away, I think it was in Minnesota they played, he broke Jordan record. All the players came up, gave him love, gave him high fives and everything, gave him dap. But you Twitter fingers and you media people hated on him. But y'all praising this guy, LeBron. Let me tell you what LeBron is. LeBron is a great talent who never expanded his game. I'm not talking about shooting threes because he barely can do that. His free throw percentage is trash. To be a superstar and to be great as you are, you shouldn't be in those 60 percentile or low 70s. Tim Duncan may have had that at 70% or 60 some percent, but when it counted, Tim Duncan made the free throws. Shaquille O'Neal is a guy who always used the, well, why are they hacking Shaq me? Because you can't shoot free throws. You're getting paid damn near $20 to $30 million a year, and you can't make a free throw. This is why Shaq and LeBron aren't my top players. Defensively, they were very weak defensive players. They were weak. Now, could they come over on help defense? Yes, their help defense was a little above average or maybe just okay. But as far as domination, they weren't that great. Now, playing the passing lanes, they were able to sometimes tip the ball or break on the ball because of their athleticism. LeBron had a lot of athleticism. That's why, as far as his physique and his body, he's a freak of nature. And for him to play for 17 years without a major injury, that's very strange to me. Every top player in every sport has had an injury but you, and you're losing your hair. Now, allegedly, he was caught some years back taking PEDs in Miami. Now, all I know is when that cryogenic place was busted, LeBron got real small. If you watch his early year in Cleveland when he came back with Kyrie and them, LeBron looked real small and he was playing like trash. He wasn't able to get to the hole like he used to. He was struggling. And then once he was able to get himself together and they opened up another lab somewhere, came back big again. But see, people are gonna say I'm hating. I really don't care. I'm just tired of the slander to Kobe. LeBron, congrats, you did pass his record. You passed Mike, you passed Wilt and everything, and you're climbing high on the assists. You're not a pass first player. You're a ball dominant player who plays one type of way. And that's why you're 3-6 in the finals. You had D Wade and Bosh, Battier, Chalmers, all of those guys, Udonis Haslam to cover for you on defense in Miami. They don't get any credit. Chris Bosh should have been a Hall of Famer in talks of being a Hall of Famer. And I hope he gets in this year or next year. He deserves it because he sacrificed a lot to play with you and D Wade, and he didn't get any credit. He tipped that ball to Ray Allen and hit the shot to win the game. He don't get any credit. Then you played against OKC. The refs gave you that series because you fouled Kevin Durant in game 2, because it would have been 2-0 going back to Miami, which you would have lost. But Bosh, D Wade, and Battier had to cover for you on defense because KD was cooking you. So I don't want to hear no, oh, well, he's 16-6 against Kobe in these games. And watch when they guard each other. KD and Kobe have shut him down, and they have scored on him at will. Go watch the tapes of KD playing LeBron when they're matched up. Go watch the tapes of when Kobe plays LeBron matched up. They dominate LeBron. LeBron is not a good one-on-one player. Team player, he's okay, but he's not the greatest. He can pass the ball. Great passer. Point guard, I give him that. He's a point guard. He's not a small forward or power forward. Now, the thing is, we need to stop overly praising this man and downing everybody else. Undisputed every day is tearing down Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. First of all, Skip Bayless never liked Kobe or Iverson. He's a Jordan sniffer, just like Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp or LeBron sniffers. They have no great opinion or balanced. All right? If you're doing your top 5 list of GOATs, what are you comparing it on? Facilitators, scorers, impact on the game. If you're talking impact on the game, your 5 would be Michael, Magic, Bird, Kareem, and Kobe. That is your 5. Or you could do Bill Russell, Oscar, Jerry West, and Wilt in your 5. Those guys had impact on the game. Isaiah Thomas, Bad Boys Pistons, their style of basketball changed the game because now we got all these soft behind rules because they took advantage of the rules to win. And they're the most disrespected team in history, and they should get more respect. All I'm saying is LeBron James is not impressive to me. I wish him well. If he wins a championship this year, congrats, man. But don't you think LeBron should have more championships by now? To me, he should have stayed in Miami with Pat Riley. He would have had way more championships, and he wouldn't have had to work so hard to get his stats because Pat Riley would have built the team around him like he needed to. The problem with LeBron is he wants to be the coach, the GM, and the owner, and he wants to be able to get a say in anything, and he needs his team stacked up. Go back to Cleveland. The years that they lost, his team had a top defense. They had a top defense. The problem was him. Against the Spurs when they got swept, they held Tim Duncan to his lowest percentages in the finals. Ilgauskas, Varejao, those guys were handling their business. He's the one who didn't do nothing. They had Damon Jones coming off the bench, hitting those big threes. They had a good supporting cast. Were they the greatest? No, they weren't. But the East wasn't competitive. You had Gilbert Arenas pointing guns at people. Washington Wizards were decent. Detroit, they were okay. And then they cheated Detroit in that series when they threw McDyess out the game. And they had no Ben Wallace. And he was struggling to beat them. Then he came back. They had, for those 3 years, they had 50 some wins, I believe, when they played and they lost to the Celtics when the Celtics went to the '08 finals. Yeah, the '08, '07, '08 season. He lost that time because he was scared to shoot the ball or go to the hole. He passing to everybody. Then the following year, I think they got Delonte and all them guys. They were 60-some wins back-to-back years. And he lost to Orlando, who was trash. Everyone talk about D. Howard soft. D. Howard was never that great to me. He was just dominating because there was no centers at the time. You had Marcus Saul, that was it. Who else? KG was older. So what other guy you had? Ben Wallace was older. So, and then he lost to the Celtics when they went to Game 7. He could have won, and they're talking about, oh, well, Delonte messed with his mom, allegedly. Dude, okay, that's your mom. Your mom's a grown woman. I would be pissed, too, if somebody messed with my mom on the team. But at the end of the day, that's a grown woman. What you should have done was go out there, handle your business. That wasn't your wife, dog. That's your mom. At the end of the day, you should have took that anger and put it on the Boston Celtics. But no, you shelled up and then you went all the way to Miami, which I didn't have a problem with. You went to Miami. You only went 2-2. And then you hated Kevin Durant for doing something that you should have thought of a long time ago. Go to a team that had a core from the draft so you could get your rings. And then y'all blasted KD, but this guy can trade half a team and stack his team, leave Cleveland, go somewhere else, then come back, then go somewhere else, but it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Hypocrisy. That's the name of this video. That's the name of this game. LeBron James, I'm sorry. He's not in my top 10 or top 20. Congratulations on passing Kobe. And I hope you stay healthy and continue playing great, doing the best you can. But to me, he's an average or below average ball player, great talent, first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's not in my top 10 or 20.